Leadership in times of war profoundly shapes a president's legacy. This video highlights the critical roles U.S. presidents played during tumultuous periods in American history. From direct involvement in battlefield strategies to navigating complex political landscapes, their decisions had lasting impacts on both the nation's direction and the nature of its presidency. Watch as we shed light on the less visible yet significant aspects of presidential leadership during war, revealing how these moments of crisis have defined the American presidency and influenced the path of national history. The first story takes us back to the American Revolution, where George Washington's leadership set the foundation for his presidency and the nation. George Washington's command of the Continental Army, beginning on June 19, 1775, demonstrated his evolving military leadership. He took formal command in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and maintained this role throughout the American Revolution, resigning only after independence was secured in 1783. Initially, Washington faced challenges, especially evident in his early campaigns around Long Island, New York, where he suffered defeats. These experiences, however, taught him that avoiding catastrophic losses was as crucial as winning battles. His strategic genius shone during the surprise attack on the Hessian garrison at Trenton after crossing the Delaware River on Christmas night in 1776, a move that reinvigorated the American cause and was soon followed by another victory at Princeton. Washington's ability to learn and adapt was also evident in his command staff choices, including figures like Alexander Hamilton and Baron von Steuben, who played critical roles in shaping his leadership and military strategy. He skillfully balanced risk and caution, as seen in his maneuvers at Yorktown in 1781, where he cornered the British while misleading them about his strategic intentions. This ability to adapt strategy and take calculated risks was a significant aspect of his military leadership. Washington's leadership during the war, characterized by strategic adaptability and a clear focus on the goal of independence, significantly influenced his presidency, instilling a sense of resilience and strategic insight. Next on our list is the tale of Abraham Lincoln, whose presidency was deeply intertwined with the complexities of the Civil War and his steadfast commitment to preserving the Union. Abraham Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War, a period marked by immense national turmoil and division, was characterized by his adaptability, strategic thinking, and unwavering commitment to preserving the Union. Lincoln, recognizing the necessity of popular support, adeptly navigated the political landscape to unify various factions in the North. His rare political skill was crucial in garnering support across divergent groups, a task he achieved by effectively using the spoils system and his talent for engaging with fellow politicians and smoothing over personal differences. Lincoln's approach to warfare was pragmatic and flexible. He was not initially a military strategist, but learned to adjust his tactics based on circumstances. This is evident in his handling of military leadership. He experimented with different generals until he found effective commanders. His decision to promote Ulysses S. Grant following the latter's success in the Vicksburg campaign was pivotal. Grant's appointment and Lincoln's subsequent support for his strategies marked a turning point in the war. Lincoln's strategies extended beyond military tactics. He employed various non-military methods to weaken the Confederacy and strengthen the Union. The Emancipation Proclamation, issued in 1862 and taking effect in January 1863, was a crucial step in this direction. By declaring the freedom of slaves in Confederate states, Lincoln aimed to weaken the Confederacy's labor force, while simultaneously bolstering the Union's moral and political stance. He also looked for alternatives to military engagement, like the Land-Grant College Act, which provided educational opportunities as an incentive for Confederate states to rejoin the Union. Furthermore, Lincoln's wartime policies involved strategic communication and symbolism. He insisted on the continuation of construction on the U.S. Capitol during the war, a move he believed would symbolically communicate the endurance and unity of the Union. His handling of political opposition, both within his cabinet and the broader public, was marked by a careful balance between conciliation and firmness, as he strove to maintain unity in the face of diverging interests and viewpoints. Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War thus combined military strategy with political acumen, economic initiatives, and symbolic actions, all aimed at preserving the Union and setting the stage for a unified nation post-war. His approach to the war was not just about winning battles, but about achieving a grander vision for the United States. Moving forward, we turn to Theodore Roosevelt, whose journey from the leader of the Rough Riders during the Spanish-American War to the White House redefined American politics and policy. Theodore Roosevelt's rise from a war hero as the leader of the Rough Riders to the presidency of the United States is a story of determination, bravery, and political acumen. During the Spanish-American War in 1898, then the Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Navy resigned his post to join the war effort. He helped form the 1st United States Volunteer Cavalry, famously known as the Rough Riders. This regiment, composed of cowboys, miners, law enforcement officials, and college athletes, quickly gained fame for their flamboyant and unorthodox style, receiving extensive publicity for their exploits, particularly the uphill charge in the Battle of Santiago. The Rough Riders, under the nominal command of Colonel Leonard Wood, but effectively led by Roosevelt, played a significant role in the capture of Kettle Hill and the subsequent charge across a valley to seize San Juan Ridge, including the strategic point of San Juan Hill. This legendary unit, composed of diverse members including cowboys, Indian fighters, and Ivy League athletes, showcased Roosevelt's leadership and organizational skills. Their gallant and bloody record during the war, particularly in the attack on Santiago de Cuba, elevated Roosevelt's national prominence. Roosevelt's military experience influenced his subsequent domestic and foreign policies as president. His time with the Rough Riders cultivated a persona of vigor and assertiveness, which translated into his presidency. His approach to foreign policy was assertive, exemplified by his famous adage, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." This philosophy underpinned his actions in matters like the Panama Canal's construction and the establishment of the Roosevelt Corollary to the Monroe Doctrine, asserting the U.S.'s right to intervene in Latin American affairs. Domestically, Roosevelt's leadership style was marked by a provocative approach to reform. His experience in the Rough Riders, dealing with men from diverse backgrounds and managing difficult situations, likely contributed to his confidence in tackling the nation's issues, leading to significant progress in areas like antitrust regulation, conservation, and labor rights. This blend of military leadership and political acumen made Theodore Roosevelt a unique and dynamic figure in American history, whose impact is still felt today. Our fourth story highlights Franklin D. Roosevelt, a leader who steered the United States through the challenges of World War II, orchestrating key decisions that left a lasting imprint on the modern world. As Commander-in-Chief, Roosevelt was instrumental in forming the Grand Alliance against the Axis powers, working closely with Allied leaders like Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin. This collaboration proved crucial for planning and executing major military operations, including the Normandy invasion on D-Day, June 6, 1944. Managing relationships with the Allies, especially the Soviet Union, was a critical aspect of Roosevelt's wartime leadership. He focused on maintaining friendly relations with the Soviet Union, believing this to be essential for post-war peace. At the Tehran Conference in November 1943 and the Yalta Conference in February 1945, Roosevelt worked to secure commitments from Stalin on entering the war against Japan and establishing democratic governments in Eastern Europe. While Stalin honored his pledge concerning Japan, he later imposed Soviet satellite governments throughout Eastern Europe. In his end-of-the-year radio address, Roosevelt announced the appointment of General Eisenhower as the supreme commander of the forces that would soon invade Europe. This decision was part of Roosevelt's broader strategy of employing skilled military leaders to direct key operations during the war. Roosevelt's presidency during World War II was not just about military decisions. It also involved significant diplomatic efforts and the establishment of a vision for the post-war world. His leadership during this period shaped not only the outcome of the war, but also laid the groundwork for the United Nations and the post-war international order. His approach to the war encompassed not only military strategy, but also political and diplomatic efforts to ensure a stable and peaceful world following the conflict. If you found these stories about presidential valor, strategy, and controversy as fascinating as we do, please show your support. Hit the like button to let us know what you think, and share this video with fellow history enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more captivating historical insights. Your support helps us bring more content like this to you. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which president's wartime story did you find most compelling, and why? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. We're excited to read your perspectives.